This is another episode of Elixer and Jokes Do Podcast. Fun, magic time, have fun. Success, great channel. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Okay, episode 12.
Wow, 12 episodes. A whole dozen of these.
Yeah, can you believe it?
You would have thought like some sort of morality group would tell us to stop making them.
How many dicks am I going to edit today? Let's find out.
I can't wait to find out.
Dicks. That's what company makes dildos? There's a good one.
All right, AJ, what do we have on the lineup for today?
All right, guys, game number 1. Smudge.
I noticed I was doing this a lot in the last episode. Don't know why. Didn't look cool on camera.
But we're going to start off with Smudge. All right, there's the title screen.
Smudge.
Speaking of that, we have a fan-submitted Smudge. Well, I made it into a Smudge, but I will give credit due.
Fan-submitted image.
Yes, and as you know, we have 4 fans, so you probably know who it is.
Oh, boy.
We'll go ahead and start with... I also went ahead and went on a theme. Every one of these is something that you genuinely enjoy or...
Feel the belt tightening around my neck. What else do I enjoy?
Oh, we all love that. The baby with the gun as he pulls... The moment before he pulls the trigger when you see the... All right, here we go. We're going to start off with...
Image number 1. Oh boy, what is this?
Every
it's
one
like
of these...
a restaurant scene or something like that. It looks like those look like restaurant blinds. It's like there's a bottle of water on the table, and then there's some people sitting somewhere, but I can't make out enough of the details to identify anything more than that. I can see that that's a lady's head. It looks like on the right hand side, being stretched up and around, and then there's some other folks there. One of whom appears to be Afro-American. So way to go for inclusivity. But I'm going to need the next one before I can even venture a guess here.
All right, here we go. Number 2. You should have enough.
This changed almost nothing.
So
I see me on the end.
All right.
And I see there's like somebody standing beside me. It's warped. It's too fucked up. I mean, I don't have enough detail for what the thing in the center is. Like, I can make out me. I can make out there's a bottle of water. I can make out what potentially could be Mike standing next to me. And then there's another person, and then a black and gray fucking thing.
All right, we're going to go to the third one. The pressure is on.
Well, I can now see there's a bottle of soda.
Zoom.
Yeah, I got nothing, brother. I don't know. Terry Crews? Is he selling Old Spice body wash?
Oh, you're close though. Fuck, you didn't get it, James. You didn't get the fan submitted one. Here is the original image.
Oh no! How can I forget irony?
A jet lag on Pam. Not talking jet lag. Last jam. Not even jet lag. Instead of jam.
Oh, so
Man.
This was edited and sent by none other than this guy right here.
I love that shirt that I'm wearing. With the fucking fancy cuffs and all the words on it. I also love the person who is at like a panel or something that they're answering questions. And it's like, water. It's like, no, I need a mug root beer if I'm going to address the fans.
Yeah, this is definitely... Thank you, Mike.
It's a brilliant thing. It's one of my great passions in life is the existence of Iron E. Singleton.
Jelly on
The Walking Dead. Jelly on Pam, yes.
Jelly on Pam.
And fart gags in a movie he filmed.
If you guys watch my main screen commercial stuff, including the one I did last week, that's intentionally bad. His stuff is worse, and it's not intentionally bad. All right, here's the second one. And all of these, I thought there was a chance you could get them on the first one.
I mean, I'm going to say Bert Kreischer from one of his specials for this one.
That's it. You got it.
Fun fact, he had a roast of himself that was done recently, and it's for view on OnlyFans, and it came out for free today, so remind me to text you that link after we're done recording. If you don't think this shit's funny, go watch Razzle Dazzle on Netflix. This is my intrigued face. Note that I'm stroking my facial hair.
Yeah, it's a little bit of pompous stroking.
Looks like somebody's feeding me something.
I tried
Maybe
to
like
make it
baby
look that way.
birding something into my mouth.
We'll go to the next image. I didn't change that one enough, so let's just go to the third image. And I'm not going to show the original because, well, you see.
Oh, it's pornographic. Yep, okay. Yeah, it's the picture from last week.
Yep. Obviously what stands out here is the mayo, of course. Nothing else. It's the mayonnaise.
Nothing else stands out.
And that's it for
And
Smudge,
choking a bitch
everybody.
with a lamp cord.
Yeah. Anything with asphyxiation, anything to make daddy come. I heard that we have a little bit of a sponsor for today. James, you care to tell us a little bit about our sponsor?
Sure, AJ. Today's episode is sponsored by Subway Sandwiches. That's right, Subway Subs is sponsoring this show, and they'd like us to share our personal Subway experience. AJ, if you don't mind, I've written something here that I'd like to read about my Subway experience, because as you know, if you know me, I'm a Subway stan, as it were, and, I'd really like to share how Subway has impacted me.
Fuck yeah.
So, you know that feeling when you enter a Subway store and it's empty? Slightly too cool to be comfortable, slightly too damp to feel clean, and slightly too bright to be inviting. There's only one lonely employee who does their best not to look at you for those awkward 10 seconds while you walk to the counter before you're close enough to order. You know you interrupted them while they were doing something else. They give their greeting, ask what you want, and you begin scanning their workspace. The bins of raw ingredients are sitting askew, separated by steel walls, yet careless hands have dropped some of each on all the others. The preparation area is littered with crumbs and bits of lettuce, maybe the odd olive or onion piece here or there that's wedged itself into the crack between the food trays and the cutting board. This could have been cleaned up while nobody was there, but the employee doesn't care. For 1 second you wonder how it got messy in the first place, given the lack of customers. Maybe it's staged, like those first few pennies in a homeless person's hat. Do you want it toasted? You do, but that would mean standing here for a minute with the stranger you disturbed, waiting for the bread to be sanitized. You observe the employee assemble your sandwich, making sure to painstakingly put each ingredient on only one half of the sub. You ask for sauce, and they squeeze it out of a disgusting rubber nipple, then toss the bottle back into its bin like they don't want to touch it either. Are they wearing those gloves to keep the food clean or their hands? You pay, and the sandwich heavily sags into a flimsy garbage bag it doesn't really seem to fit in, and is handed to you. You walk out into the light of the sun, the colors suddenly seeming real again. You become aware of your breathing because the air feels rich and life-giving somehow. The distant memory of tasty subs that brought you here lingers just beyond the edge of clear recollection, like an old acquaintance whose face you can't picture anymore. You carry your order to the car. When did it get this bad? Subway sandwiches.
Just when I thought that I didn't miss those $5 footlongs. Oh, and the Subways, of course. That too. The
Yes,
sandwiches.
like all good Subway sandwiches, at some point they're going to be making their way into or out of my ass.
Oh.
Anyway, let's move on to our next feature, which is a little something we like to call...
Intermission! Intermission is a little bit like a Subway sandwich. Disgusting and uncomfortable. So get ready
and
for...
only appropriate for me, apparently.
Yeah, and me if I'm watching someone else. We have a first-timer. We're going to do our photo op. So everyone, welcome. Oh,
Hey, it's my buddy Ben. But more importantly, my buddy Ben's large, throbbing penis.
Yeah, he looks quite surprised. It doesn't look like you got his consent here. So, did you? Is he consenting to this?
Well, he seems kind of shocked that this is happening, and there's different levels of emotions being expressed all over the place. Let me set the scene here. There's a couple of finer details I'd like to point out to everybody. Number one, my spirit animal, the bird with the human penis, looks on from atop the shelf in the background, along with recent podcast guest bird with dog head. The jar of mayonnaise is tucked away very carefully there, a must-have at any home bar. There's a beautiful framed photo of you and me, framed as though it was a movie slate, which is a great callback to, I think, episode 4, judging by our apparel. Over on the other side there's a picture of me overlaid over the body of Saya, it looks like, from that Chandelier song. The bee seems to have migrated onto one of Ben's podcast co-hosts. And then there's you down there in the bottom left corner trying to sneakily smell his ass, it looks like.
And you've
But
got
of course
one thing. You remember the James son?
Oh, okay. Is that what that is?
Yeah, so the O in home there was already something very similar to it. So I was like, wow, this actually fits pretty perfectly. The only difference is instead of its son, it's you're there with the sun.
What's not pretty small for me to make out that detail, however, is the hog on Ben. My God, get a load of it.
Yeah.
It's glistening. It doesn't match either his or my skin tone. And I've got a hand out like I'm about to wrestle it down to the ground like a fire hose. There's also a gerbil coming out of my mouth for
I
some
was wondering
reason.
if you're going to, because it went in your ass, it came out of your mouth, I guess.
Oh,
No,
you made the journey.
You tell me.
It's Lemmy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, a lot going on in this photo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while we're on the subject, we'll go ahead and get to a note from James's prior life. This is a probably 5-6 years ago. James, tell us a little bit about what you are doing in this photo.
Well, AJ, I'm reminding this bitch that the glass ceiling isn't just a metaphor.
Coming on real strong there. I love it.
I mean, you put the bird with a human penis whispering in my ear. Maybe it's the true cause of all the suffering that I bring. It's
Yeah.
the one that spurs me to do all these heinous acts. Talk shit, get hit, as the saying goes. I had to remind her who the alpha dog was. Arr, arr.
Very true. All right, for this next one, we're going to go to Mad Libs, which we haven't done since episode like 2 or 3. All right, James, here's what I'm going to need from you.
Okay,
Give me-
AJ. I'm ready. Foot, Chris. Gonorrhea. Fork. Punt. Spleen.
So I'm going to give
did
this
it,
to
Dan.
you.
Do you have a particular voice you'd like me to read this one in, AJ?
Do whatever accent you want.
All right, here we go then. Here's a Mad Lib that we've concocted. I remember the day I accidentally killed that litter of kittens. I had my foot outside in the open and was on video call with Chris, trying to ask them if they like to taste my ejaculate. My foot was pretty sore as it was riddled with gonorrhea. I ended the call early, however, as I remembered the baby with a gun and lost the ability to maintain an erection. I then left my home with my fork and punted it outside in the public view. Then I saw it. I met its eyes. It had the cutest spleen, and I knew then I wanted to touch it. I wrapped my huge hand around its pretty neck, but I realized too late that I had at least a pound of mayo on my hands. The kitten slipped from my greasy pig hands and landed on my foot. It was then cut in half, and I screamed out in horror. At least I did ejaculate that day after all.
There was the first one. The second one is easier. All right, give me a radio station name. You can make one up, not a...
WCUM, period remedy, banana, liquefy, purple, 1, New Hampshireville, now, a big dog and a small dog.
Here we go.
Hi folks, welcome back to WCUM. My name is Jokes, and because people think I'm joking when I show them my tiny little dick, today we're going to talk about period remedies. Ha, just kidding. We're talking about my tiny dick today. Do you know what I do when I shower? I take a deodorant stick and roll it up and down my pelvic bone. And wouldn't you know it, there's no resistance. It's like a car tire going over a newly paved road. Then I sprinkle a few grains of salt down there to absorb any water, as the water would weigh enough to crush my tiny little penis. I sometimes put my glasses around my little dickle so it looks like Dilbert. But as I stated before, it's too tiny, and therefore it looks like one of those cartoons where they drew glasses on a character's face, but don't add any other details like a nose, eyes, or anything else. Like an anime. Oh yeah, all those words I had to say before this weren't for nothing, see? Banana, liquefy, purple, One Direction, New Hampshireville, now, small dog, big dog, ha! Sexual style.
All right. Good job. That was a good
That's what we
voice,
call
too.
a bait and switch in the industry.
All right, guys. And that was our games. Hope
Only slightly less problematic than the actual creator of Dilbert.
Yeah, really. I'm glad you
All
chose
right,
that
everybody.
voice.
Well, make sure to like and favorite that podcast. If you remember that contest we announced last episode, keep your eyes peeled. Throughout this episode, there's going to be a special call out to our lucky winner. So make sure you look real close. But otherwise, folks, I've been Jokes, he's been AJ, and we've been two white guys in our 30s doing a podcast. Until next time, we've been awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Eat
yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
Your pussy.
Fuck me.
Your pussy.
Fuck me.
Sexual style.
Fuck me.
Your pussy.
Fuck me.
Oh, the queen's dead. Oh, I had a terrible dream.